is Miss Io Sufi, and she is Cherokee, Muskogee Creek, Egyptian descent. She's a member of the Sound Healers Association and Halls, originally from Washington, D.C. She has her education in fine and performing arts. She now lives with her husband, also made descent in the Tidewater area in Virginia. My name is Vincent Schilling. I am Akwesasne Mohawk, and I'm also the Executive Vice President of Schilling Media. Schilling Media is a Native American-based media corporation here in Hampton Roads. I'm also a journalist for Indian Country Today Media Network. And Indian Country Today Media Network is the nation's leading Native news publication. You can check them out at ictmn.com. I also host a radio show, Native Trailblazers, every Friday. After I leave here, I'll be hosting my radio show, so check that at nativetrailblazers.com. So here we are at the 1619 conference. The 1619 obviously designates the first appearance of Africans here in the Hampton Roads area. What is often not mentioned or not talked about is the Native presence here in Virginia at the same time. And it was a very interesting conglomeration of people at that time. Native Americans lived with, made families with, and had slaves that were African American who also became part of their family. So there's a huge mixture and big symphony of Native American rainbow colors here in Virginia, from very, very light to very dark. And I remember showing Hampton Roads Community and Culture, which is a television show I did here in the Hampton Roads area. I showed it last year, and I remember someone in the audience talking about someone came on screen, they were in full regalia, and they said, "He's black! He's not Indian!" And I said, "Listen for a while." And African American and Native American, according to the Weyanoke Association, according to many scholars, writers, 80 to 85% of African Americans here, especially in the Virginia area, claim also Native ancestry. Walter Plecker, Mayo will talk a little bit about him as well, committed what we call pencil genocide and went in and physically changed records. Yeah. So there's a big mix-up on who's Native, who's black, who's African American and Native American, but to me, I don't care. You know, we're all brothers and sisters, and we're all trying to get the word out that we as Native people, we as African American people, we as African American, Native American people all exist, and we're a bigger part of history than history admits, whether you like it or not. Okay? So, Ayo, would you like to say a few words?
Thank you, Vincent. Hello, everyone. As Vincent mentioned, I am Muskogee Creek, Salagi. We don't call ourselves Cherokee. Actually, depending upon what part of the country, you might hear someone of that descent call themselves Aniyuwia, but Salagi will do. I am also of Egyptian descent. I'm a typical American, I'm a mutt. What makes me different, if one were to claim a difference, is how I have chosen to live my life. I grew up in Washington, D.C. In the 60s and 70s, and in that world, there were only two kinds of people. You were either white or you were black. So on my way, with my lunchbox and my ponytails and my differentness, people would literally, adults included, walk up and ask me, "What are you?" So I learned to say human, I learned to say vertical, I learned to say any number of things. Somehow I instinctually knew, though I didn't have the history, not to tell them that I was an Indian. We talked about it at home. That's all Granddaddy, who was deep chocolate brown, all he ever talked about was the lands that we had in Oklahoma that got dispersed and argued about and ultimately lost on the Creek side of the family, but nevertheless there was. My grandfather answered my question. I said, well, Granddaddy, how come Indians could walk on the leaves and not make any sound? And he showed me, he says, oh, baby, you put your toe down first. I said, oh, okay, and I just went on about my life with not knowing that there was another culture totally going on. There were powwows going on, though not like we enjoyed them at the time. There were all kinds of things going on, so I didn't hit my my path as a Native American until I was 50 years old. I went to my second powwow, I won't go into the first one, and I looked and I saw the women doing with their feet what my grandfather had taught me, and I wept. I said, oh, okay. I don't want to spend all my time up here talking about myself, but I do want to make it personal. How many here are familiar, other than Vincent, about Walter Plecker, the robber of identity? How many of you have heard of the Racial Integrity Act of 1924? Yeah, well, what that means is, at that time, you could only be either white or black, and it was required that a racial statement, a category, was required on your birth certificate. What they didn't tell you was they only gave you two choices. And so there are many, many people. I meet folks right now, sometimes they'll see me at a powwow and they'll just come up in here and start crying, and I'm like, what's wrong? And I said, I know who I am, but my grandmother, my auntie, my great-grandmother, my uncle, they would never tell me, but I know. And I said, well, it's okay because you're here now. And you get to be the one to do something about it, whether they told you or not. See, it's like this. DNA far away. Not so far from one who knows the creator, chips and discs and programming true to the purpose inside you. Stand up and push that button and let destiny come up. Scream the face of prophecy lived aloud. Monitor the movements of the code. Double helix with healing in the mix. Your hands to reach the crowd. It's not what you think. It's not what you've been told. How you do what you do is all part of the plan. Tap into the chromosome, don't you know? God makes no mistakes. Happenstance is another name for miracle. A lyrical event straight from the songbook of creation. Aunt Josie, Uncle Mike, and Grandmother Sue said it and said it and said it. Hey, what tribe are you? The world does not get to say who you are. It's in the code. God wrote it and gave it to you. Talk about a webmaster. What a sight. People walking around being whole in themselves so they can run faster. It's in the code. It's time to function all the way live, not half and half on cylinders few. It's time to roll. It's time to decipher. Open the file. It's not anything new. It's always been there. It's in the code. I got a car with two wheels. Can't make that distance. Got a shirt with one arm. I'm exposed. Don't miss this. Not living in the covering provided has been a test. And I have some news for you. There is no cheat sheet because God can't lie. Look in the mirror and see from his eye that the way to pass it beats in your chest. Love how he made you. Open the folder that has always been there. Since before time had a name, this program was laid, and it is not what you think. It's not what you've been told. How you do what you do. Tap into the code. God makes no mistakes, don't you know? Happenstance is another name for miracle, and DNA means do not ask another. Straight to the source. But of course, the one who knows is the one that made you. Embrace the miracle of your whole self. Aunt Josie, Uncle Mike, and Grandmother Sue said and said and said it. Hey, what tribe are you? The world does not, I gotta say that again. The world does not get to say who you are. It's in the code. That was given to me by Spirit. When I started my path, and I took that and I ran with it. And I hope that you do the same. I have just been gracefully informed that my time is up, and I thank you. I managed to bring some CDs with me. I have two. One is tribute. One is called Breath. Breath is a meditative, and this has a bit more of a native flavor. So if I've said anything or played anything that touched you, please come see me about that, okay? Is that all right?
All right.
Okay, I like when people talk like that. I want you to understand that what I'm going to play is not a song. When I play, I'm praying. So, I'm going to ask you again. Is it all right? Can I pray with you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, that's better. Go like that.
Say one more time for Ayel Sufi. Thank you, Ayel. Thank you so much. We are also joined here today by members of Seven Feathers Drum from several nations and nationalities. Seven Feathers Drum is a local drum for the Tidewater area. The drum keeper, Jimmy Two Hawks Beamer. Is that right? Okay. Yep. So make sure. And he's also president of Sacred Friends, Sacred Friend ORG, a nonprofit wildlife rehabilitation organization that is located in the Hampton Roads area, and this is a beautiful red-tailed hawk wakan. When we play songs on a drum, you notice that they're formed in a circle. In Native culture, the circle is synonymous with being sacred, the creator. All things circle from youth to death to rebirth. So, the heartbeat of Mother Earth is the drum. Yes, thank you, Jimmy. So please. There are not just one type of song when you hear them playing this drum. There are different types. There's honor songs, veterans. Do you want to tell me something? Okay. There's veteran songs, honor songs, calling songs, and we were at. I think a lot of you guys were there that year at Norfolk Botanical Gardens where we did a calling song, and the news was there, and they're like, I could even tell like, people would be looking kind of I'm like, what's a calling song? What's a calling song? And we're saying we're just giving a call out to the ancestors to let them know we're going to be playing the drum. And it's to pay honor to our ancestors and say, we want to let you know we're going to play this song now. And they started playing the calling song, and the eagle came by, wind swept through, it started to rain, the rain passed by, and then a rainbow came down as the eagle passed by. It's like, see? We told you. And, dedicate this moment to Bob Gendreau, who has walked on, he's crossed over to the other side of the Creator, your ancestors now. And he said, he raised his hand and goes, we told you, media, we're not joking around, Indians are real. And they enjoyed it, so. Probably have time for another song, guys. One more. Any?
Yeah, this is a gathering song. That's the song we play to get everyone around to get up and dance.
Okay.
And if y'all would like to come up here and stand.
Yeah, so why don't you, if you are able, come up to the front of the stage and come just listen closely and feel, don't be shy. I know it's strange, I don't know anybody, but come up close. Come up to the stage if you're able. And we want you, and you even come up on stage if you like, please everyone. And we just want you to feel the drum. You can sit here in the front, or you can stand close to the stage. You can come up on stage. Please feel free to come up on stage or stand. And in as much as you hear it, we want you to allow yourselves to feel it. You can feel the beat of the drum. And it's very powerful. So please come up. Thank you everyone for coming up. That's wonderful. I'm glad to see everyone come up. And
See, the drum wants to bring everyone together. Come up here on stage and
good. Good. Some folks coming up. Good. Come up. Yeah, feel free to come up if you'd like. Yeah, come up. Sure, come on up. Absolutely. It's an amazing experience to stand this close to a drum. Please feel free to come up and feel the drum. You will feel it in your body. It'll shake you up in a very positive, good way. Allow yourself to feel it. Great. Oh, wonderful. Wow, thank you, everyone. I'm so glad to have everyone join. Okay, Jimmy, let's go. We got a group coming. We got a group coming right after us, Jimmy. So let's, Jimmy, sir, ready? Yes, sir.